I'm O.W. Root, and this is Pleasant Peninsula. It is an epic day up here in the deep north. The geese are flying overhead. The sky is violent. The wind is aggressive. I mean, we've got about 25-mile-per-hour winds right now. The fire wouldn't stay lit. That's why there's no fire. It's just too hard for it. This is one of those days, this is one of those quintessential late autumn days. They're the days where you finally start to hear that whistling wind, that eerie whistling wind outside your window. You don't hear that in the spring, you don't hear it in the summer. Even when the wind is strong in those warm seasons, you don't hear it. It's that cold wind. That's when you know winter's coming, really. We finally hear that. So while it is an incredible day up here today, I don't really want to talk about weather. I want to talk about dog poop. Yes, dog poop. Our society has a problem with dog poop. It's everywhere. You know, I don't want to be one of these guys who, or I try not to be one of these guys who complains about everything and who frames every opinion he has about everything as a complaint, because it's really annoying to constantly complain about everything. But the truth is, and I'm sure you have noticed this or agree or understand, is we have a problem with dog poop everywhere. It's in public parks, it's on trails, it's on sidewalks, it's everywhere. A couple weeks ago, my kids and I were down at a public park downtown. It's a park where people sit, they have picnics, kids play. It's not a dog park. It was a main public park in the city. It's not some huge thing either, just a small, nice little public park. My kids were playing tag, running around or whatever. And my son ran and fell down in the grass as kids like to do. And he fell nearly face first into a big steaming pile of dog poop, fresh dog poop. I mean, thank God it didn't go in his face. My God, terrible. But it went all over his arm, bare arm, sleeve on his clothes. And again, it was a fresh pile of dog poop, so it really smeared and stunk all over. Go into the public restroom and walked home, and that was that. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, it should not be like that. You should not have to worry about a massive thing of dog poop in a public park like that. Your kids should be able to run around and have a good time, not think they're going to land in a big pile of dog poop. Just the other day, we were walking on this trail around a cornfield. It's a public trail that they mow or keep up, and people walk it, and people take their dogs on it. And about halfway through our walk, I noticed we had to be, really looking out intensely for dog poop because it was everywhere. It was all over. I mean, if you didn't really watch where you're going to step in it. It shouldn't be like this. You can't even enjoy the trail because people aren't picking up the dog poop from their dogs. And I get why they don't want to pick up their dog poop. I wouldn't want to pick up their dog poop. That's why I don't have a dog. I want to pick up dog poop. And someone might say, oh, well, that's just animals. You've got to get used to it. And it's a normal, natural thing. No, it's not. So I grew up in the woods. I didn't grow up in town. I grew up in the woods. And it was really awesome growing up in the woods. And anybody who's walked in the woods knows that you run essentially zero chance of stepping in any sort of animal poop of any consequence. There's deer poop, you see rabbit poop, and that's kind of basically it. You don't really see anything else. And that rabbit poop and the deer poop basically looks the same. And even if you step on it, it doesn't really stink. It doesn't really get stuck to your shoes. It is not dog poop. And so no, you walk in nature, not even on trails, just in the woods, out in the fields, everywhere. No, you are not running the risk of stepping in poop. Dog poop is not squirrel poop. It is not rabbit poop. It is not deer poop. It is not raccoon poop. It is not skunk poop. It is not the poop that we're used to in the state of Michigan. It is not natural in that way. It doesn't have to be this way. Complaining about dog poop, having a problem with dog poop being everywhere, it's not having a problem with nature. It's having a problem with people not doing what they need to do. And people need to pick up their dog poop or just not have dogs. There's a lot of Hemingway fans. Big Two-Hearted River. It's an incredible story, a Nick Adams story. Those Nick Adams stories helped revolutionize in some way American literature in the first part of the 20th century. And though so many people love that story and love his writing, how many people have been up to Two-Hearted River? Not many, but I have. It took some incredible video. So let's roll that.
It's not easy to reach the Two-Hearted River. The wilderness in Luce County is naked and isolated. There's no cell phone service. The roads are washed out, mucky and rough. The farther northwest we went, the more rugged the country grew. Still woods, harsh scrub. The land is thick and untamed here. Finally, we arrived at the mouth of the river. The sky was full of gray clouds, the leaves had changed their colors. The waves from Superior were strong and the wind was bitter. In an almost painfully obvious way, yet a way too obvious not to mention, the actual scene and sense this far north in the deep woods mimics the very style of writing Hemingway pioneered in Big Two-Hearted River 100 years ago. No frills, no accoutrement, no flourish, no fanfare. Bare, blunt, and penetrating.
Unbelievable place. So far. Just so far. There are places that are still far away, and you feel that there. Feel far, it's the best way to feel it, or say it. You know, it's said that Hemingway was really writing about the Fox River, but he decided to name the story Two-Hearted River for whatever reason. But it was really his experience in the Fox River. The truth is, it doesn't matter. Because, first of all, it's fiction. And the title we know is Big Two-Hearted River. And so when we read about Nick on the water, we're reading about the Two-Hearted River. And that's how we know it. We don't know the insider baseball, because you're not really supposed to know the insider baseball, really. And then also beyond just that sort of idea about what is a story, what is fiction, and how we understand literature, the truth is that Two-Hearted River today is closer to what Fox River would have been then than Fox River today. I mean, when Hemingway was writing, it was so far out. It was so far out there. So far. I mean, it feels far today. I've said this multiple times on this podcast because I spent so much time up in the deep north, but it feels far today. Imagine what it felt like back then. In Two-Hearted River, the mouth of the Two-Hearted River, way up on Lake Superior, on these dirt roads, no cell service. It's about as far out. It's about as far out I've ever felt in Michigan, really. I've been to Beaver Island, I've been to Keweenaw, been all over the UP. But up there, that's far. And it feels most spiritually correct or accurate. And in line with the original Big Two-Hearted River by Hemingway. I'm O.W. Root for Michigan Enjoyer.